So a lot of you guys have been asking us, how much does it cost to maintain a Tesla? And there's all kinds of reports saying that Teslas aren't reliable or they cost a lot of money to maintain. Well, we're here with over 15 years of Tesla ownership through our 12 Teslas, and we're going to tell you how much we spent on all repairs over the last 5 years.
So we're going to go over Tesla by Tesla and kind of just talk about what the service was and all that, but we want to say a little explanation here. This is not going to include accessories like HomeLink that we had installed on some of the cars, the FSD computer that was upgraded on some of the cars. We did do a $2,600 MCU upgrade on the Model S. It is not going to include stuff like that because that is stuff that we did as an extra.
It's not going to include any of those extras. It's just going to include warranty work, which was done by Tesla over the last 5 years.
So the first car up is the 2016 90D Model S. We had that for 7 months and drove about 17,000 miles. Original cost of $107,000.
And that car was one of the first refresh cars that came out with the new front end bumper.
Correct. And so that one had some chrome trim alignment around the door, as well as it also had the headlights replaced because some of those earlier cars had a ballast issue and it would really kind of hum pretty loud.
So the second Tesla we took delivery of was another 2016 Model S 90D. Took delivery of that in December of 2016, and it was one of the first cars with the Autopilot 2 hardware. With that car, we had about 32,000 miles we drove, and we had it for about 25 months before we sold it. That car was about 103,000 when we first took delivery of it. Now, when we did take delivery, there were a few minor problems. One of them was the clear coat on the hatch. Yeah. Tesla totally swapped that out, totally replaced it, could not tell there was a problem. Later on, when I did sell the car, there were like rust spots on the rear applique. And so we had that replaced again under warranty. And at the same time, Tesla went ahead and replaced the airbags, which had been recalled.
And other things we had on that were like a door seal crease. So this rubber around here, we actually had that on both S90Ds. And you also had the headlight issue on that car.
The ballasts were buzzing as well. Yeah, so we had the headlights replaced, but again, totally under warranty.
And one other thing that car had is the yellow border around the MCU screen, which actually ended up, a lot of other previous cars ended up with that. Although the nice thing is Tesla was finally able to do that without having to replace the screen, but that car did actually have the screen replaced.
Yeah. The third car we took delivery of was a 2017 Model S 100D. Got that back in March of 2017. Had it, well, actually, we still have that.
Still have it.
It's almost 4 years old. It will be in 2 months, be 4 years old. Has about 47,000 miles on it, so it's still under warranty.
Yes.
And again, that car was about 117,000 when we took delivery of it. But again, haven't really had any issues with it.
Yeah, I mean, the big issues we had, we did have that yellow screen border there, but again, that went away when we did the MCU upgrade because it got a new screen. It did have some rear seat stitching issues. It didn't have, obviously this is a Model Y, but the Model S had stitching here in the back and it didn't have some stitching on like a few inches of it. So they went ahead and just replaced that seat. It also had the door seal crease though.
Yep. But other than that, no problems.
The one thing we did actually forget to mention though is we did actually have the shutter on acceleration on the 100D, and that basically was solved by having the half shafts, both the left and right, replaced, and that was actually done via the limited warranty on the vehicle at a cost of $0 to us.
So the fourth car is Scott's Model S 75D. It is a 2017, had it for 37 months, still have that car in the family, and it is almost at 64,000 miles.
Since it is at 64,000 miles, it is out of warranty. It's been out of warranty, I think, for the past year.
Yes, and a warranty extension was not purchased on that car. That car had a retail price of roughly $91,000. Now, some things with that is it did have 2 door handles that needed to be replaced. Again, though, it was all warranted by Tesla and taken care of with a total cost of $0. Other things that it had, the yellow screen border, again, cost of $0.
But with that car, they actually did something different compared to the previous
They didn't
Model
replace
S's.
it.
They actually used a new ultraviolet treatment where they just used some bright ultraviolet lights on the screen, and that helped the adhesive in the screen, what was causing the yellow border. And by doing that, it cured the adhesive, totally eliminated the yellow border.
And then the one thing that we had to pay for up to this point was $310 because some rodents chewed on the wiring harness. I've had this on previous cars. My Ford Fusion had this issue.
Yep.
So it might be kind of a thing normally where we live because we're not very much in the city or anything.
Also,
But,
that, I think that car was parked out at the airport a lot, and
Yes.
the airport is notorious for having rabbits and stuff
Yes.
chewing wiring. The cool thing is, it was only like $310, and that included
way cheaper than I thought.
the diagnostics, the labor, and the replacement of the wiring harness. So
Yep.
that was a very reasonable cost.
Yeah, a lot cheaper than I would have expected.
Because the car was throwing a lot of error messages. We thought it was going to be
Yeah.
a major problem. It was $300.
So next up, we have a 2018 long range Model 3. We owned that for a whopping 10 minutes.
Something
We
like
actually
that.
helped our friend Chris buy that car.
Yeah.
And so he actually came in, picked it up right from Tesla. We didn't even really drive it.
Yeah, that was back when there was a long wait on the Model 3,
Yeah.
and basically we were at the front of the line, and we were able to help Chris get his
Yep.
car a lot earlier.
But that had a retail value of $52,000. And we fixed nothing on it because it was ours for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then after that, we actually did get a 2018 Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive. That car is still in the family and has been for the past 28 months. And we have had that roughly 11,000 miles. That had a retail price of $55,000. And what have we had to do to that car?
There haven't been any problems, really. The only thing I think we did get the charge port was
Charge
upgraded
port,
to a
yes.
newer version, just because some of the earlier Model 3s had problems in cold weather.
Yeah.
We never had that problem, but it was upgraded.
During their FSD computer
As well.
retrofit, and it was a service bulletin. We didn't even know about that until after they did it. They just went ahead and took care of it. Was no problem on our end that we noticed. So 2 thumbs up for proactive replacements. A lot of these other cars, I'm going to speed round through them because either we didn't have them long or we didn't have an issue. So here we go. Model 3 Performance. Still have it. It was a 2018. It's the race car. 25 months and counting. 17,000 miles and counting. Retail price, $76,200. And issues, 0. We then had a Model X 100D. Comment below if you remember that one. We picked it up and literally a week later the Raven came out, so we went ahead and sold it. We owned that one for 3 months though. 2,000 miles total driven, and 1,000 of that was to deliver the vehicle to the new owner.
Yeah.
That had a retail price of $103,000. No issues with the Model X. Then we had a 2019 Model 3 SR Plus. We had that for 0 months because it was just under a month.
About 3 weeks.
A little under 1,000 miles, had a retail price of $42,000. 0 issues on that, but we went ahead and decided we wanted the all-wheel drive. So we picked up a Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive in 2019. Ended up keeping that one for 6 months until the Model Y came. Drove it about 4,800 miles and had a retail price of $52,000.
And again, no problems, I don't think, on that one.
No problems on any of those.
So in March of 2020, we actually took delivery of our first Model Y Performance.
Yep.
And we kept that for about 2 months and 2,300 miles.
Yep, and that had a retail price of $69,000. And as soon as we could get our hands on a white-on-white Model Y, we went ahead and re-upped our Performance Model Y to another 2020, and we still have this car because we're sitting in it. 6 months we've had it, 7,800 miles we have driven, retail price of $69,000. Now, we did have some issues with this one. The door alignment, this back door right here, was slightly misaligned, as well as the trunk. They were able to fix both of those at pickup.
At the park.
And there was
yeah.
a slight blemish on the front bumper there, and they were able to just buff that out as well at pickup. So all in all, you can see a good trend here.
Yeah, basically when we were taking delivery of the earlier cars, we were seeing the same problems kind of over and over again on those Model S's, but we were seeing fewer issues per car.
Exactly.
As deliveries continued on over the years.
Exactly. So now that they've been able to streamline things more so, and especially with like Model 3 and Model Y ramping up, we have definitely seen less and fewer problems. Now, the Model X, we didn't have any problems with that. We didn't have it a super long time. But it was great to see that didn't have any problems compared to the first 3 Model S's had some sort of issue there.
And again, none of our issues were major problems. We never
Exactly.
had an issue where like we couldn't drive the car, or
Yeah.
you know, something where like the motor went out or the battery went out. We never had any major. We did have a couple like software issues. Like once when we were driving the Model 3 out to Nevada, we got some weird error message and we are thinking, oh, it sounds like it's gonna die. We turned the car off, turned it back on, worked fine. We drove the rest of the 1,000 miles, didn't have any issues.
And still haven't had an issue to that day. But I guess this kind of goes to show you that Tesla build quality has definitely gotten better from what we have seen.
Yeah, and this is, again, we've had 12 cars, over 200,000 miles, nearly 333,000 kilometers, over 15 and a half cumulative years of ownership, and we have spent $310, and that was because of rodent damage.
Exactly. None of this was having to be paid out of pocket due to a malfunction with the Tesla. That is pretty much an external input having an effect. Without that rodent, we wouldn't have had to pay anything.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We did not do the annual service. When we first were buying the Model S's, Tesla actually had like annual services suggested, and they didn't really do much on those annual services. They would like check your windshield wipers and your windshield wiper fluid, or they would check some other fluids. But we haven't had any of those done on any of our cars, and we haven't had any problems. Also, Tesla did offer like the extended warranty program. I don't know if they still have that available, but we didn't opt for that on any of the cars, and we're glad we didn't, because we haven't had any problems except for that $300 wiring harness replacement.
Comment down below, how has your experience been? Have you owned some of the earlier models and some of the current models, and have you been able to see that progression with a better manufacturing line, better overall quality of parts? Let us know it down below and we can talk about it down there. Overall though, I can say I am certainly happy with how things have gone and how things are progressing, and I can't wait to see the future. Cybertruck, Roadster, all those future products should be that much better. As always though, huge thanks to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you are looking to accessorize your Model S, X, 3, or Y, much like this one, definitely check them out. All linked down below. And using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off of your first purchase. Our two must-have accessories are definitely going to be a center console wrap. If you have one of the older center consoles, it really helps protect that piano gloss black material. And if you have one of those newer center consoles on those 2021 Model 3s, they have you covered there too. So you can really make your center console kind of your own. As well as a matte screen protector, really helps cut down any glare from the sun, as well as any fingerprints, thanks to its oleophobic surface. As always though, thumbs up if you did enjoy that video. Go and click here to subscribe, here for some other ones. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.